Paul, it's been a very interesting week for racing. There's been criticism and support for the whip review. How would you sum up this week for the BHA?
The authority, as the regulator of the sport, has taken the opportunity this week to consult widely, very widely, both within and outside racing. We've also been very clear that it's our role as the regulator to set penalties. And it's been a challenging week, but the BHA board and executive, and indeed all racing stakeholders, have worked very well together to get the right outcome for the sport.
The authority's review was the result of 10 months of in-depth analysis and consultation across the sport of racing, with welfare groups and with the public. The principles set out in our review continue to represent the best way forward for the sport. We can't go back to the old system where there were too many breaches of the rules, and we have to have a behavioural change to achieve that. The adjustments we announced today will make sure that racing maintains the highest standards of equine welfare and have rules and penalties that are fair to the jockeys. The authority's fundamental approach is to assure that the public is happy that we are placing the welfare of horses in the highest priority for our sport.
And that issue of the image in the public and racing's future, which is obviously central to this whole review you've done and the welfare work, what role would you say the jockeys have to play in that process?
Their role is fundamental. We learnt two things about jockeys in the review. First, that they have incredible skills as horsemen and that they're willing to get involved in the training of young jockeys. And you'll notice in the review that there are many recommendations on training, and many senior jockeys have said, how can I get involved? That's great news for the sport.
Jamie, this has been a very big talking point. Lots of interested parties in this because there are lots of stakeholders involved in racing, not just the jockeys. What would your message be to any jockeys on the back of this who would consider opposing it and would consider even the possibility of continuing strike action?
As the sports regulator, we've approached this week very openly. We've consulted, we've spoken with people, and we've reacted in a proper and appropriate measured way. We've now put in place what we believe to be the appropriate adjustments to the initial policy without undermining the policy itself. The racing family, I believe, would not be in favour of jockeys withdrawing their services. I think that the sport is a sport of challenges. These challenges are best met head-on. I believe that we are approaching it in that way, and we should go forward on that premise.